Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-June 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Piscean collective. I hope you're all fabulous, my friends. Let's shuffle it up one time. See what's going on for the Pisces people out there, my guys. Talk to me. And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going. Let's rock. Let's see what's in the ether for the Pisces people, please. My gods, what's up with Pisces? Thank you. Nice and quick. All right, so we have the Fool card, and obviously this isn't the Fool like in the tarot deck, but there are a lot of similar archetypes, and I will explain why. This could be very, very positive, especially for new things or new journeys. Now, before we start really pulling that apart, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about it. Now, I know it might be difficult for some of you to see, but literally at the bottom of this card, even though it's an oracle deck, it has 3 different renditions of the Fool card along with this. So some of you, maybe you're connected to an Aries, maybe there's, you know, some Aries in your chart. You might be on the cusp that's right next to Pisces. But when we see the Fool card, we think of a lot of good positives, but there's some cautions as well. The positives of the Fool: it's the beginning of a new cycle, the beginning of a new journey, moving towards things in a happy, positive, happy-go-lucky type of way. This is really good. However, the caution whenever we get the Fool card is to not be too spontaneous and to always keep your eyes out. You don't want to walk off the cliff here. So anything too spontaneous or not well thought out is cautioned against whenever we have the Fool card. Yes, there's a prosperous journey and cycle ahead, but that doesn't come without trials and tribulations. So we're just going to put that down right there. Interesting way to start. It's always good to start with the Fool because it's an action card. So let's get into tarot. I always say the first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. But yeah, I'm going to get you 3 of these in the upright before we get the intuitive juiciness flowing. Shuffle it up here one time for you, Pisces. Let's see what's up. My guides and spirit team. So, last week's reading was very interesting. It was titled Big Karmic Lesson. And I do remember there were various places within last week's reading that had karmic cards, karmic archetypes, whether it's a lesson that you've learned recently or a lesson you've learned in the past. For some reason, Spirit wanted to focus on that. Did you learn lessons of the past? Are you doomed to repeat them? So interesting that we had a cycle-based type of energy, and now we have a cycle-based type of card starting us off here. Interested to see what shows up. So let's get you going. Get you 3. And as you know, energies are very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're connected to. Let's get 3 for Pisces. What do we got for Pisces? Oh, okay. Queen of Pentacles, that's good. You might be very much about your money, your pentacles in this time, which could be very good in regards to the material. I like when she shows up in a spread. Let's get you 2 more, though. Get this full story going. Yeah, action, communication, action, forward movement, forward momentum. So we have the 8 of Wands in position number 2. We're looking pretty nice here so far, Pisces. Let's get 1 more. And for those of you that are new here, I'm part of the Pisces collective too. So I like when we get nice readings. And then bang, right on the back end, we have the High Priestess, which is another Piscean type of card, right? So this could be representing yourself, very mystical. There's also an area of unknown in regards to that card. So we have a very interesting mix here, Pisces. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get that juicy, intuitive stuff. Very interesting spread we have this week, because we could be looking at different areas of life. We have a card that could represent yourself, big communication, forward progress, and the material. So it's a nice energetic sandwich that we have to deal with. But let's go through one by one. In position number 1, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Usually this is a very positive card to me, similar to the Empress. When I see the Queen of Pentacles, I think of blessings. I think of monetary abundance, very sturdy, very firm. Now, I always say all cards have positive and negative. The positives of her are what I just said, similar to that Empress. So the monetary, the material blessings, very good. It could literally just be an earth sign you're connected to as well, or a mother figure. But the Queen of Pentacles, her challenge represents somebody or something that's a little stubborn or immovable. That's a big thing with this card, okay? So the clarifier for this could be very important. For some of you, you might just be in money mode, like I said, or this could be work situations, money situations. Usually positive, but I find it very interesting that we go from this stable, immovable card into one of the fastest moving ones with the Eight of Wands right in the center. So this is one of my favorite cards. I have to be real with you because I have a lot of fire sign placements myself. When I see the Eight of Wands, it's those 8 arrows cutting through the sky. A big thing with this card, it could be talks, it could be communication. So the clarifier could tell us what kind that could be. But aside from that, this is fiery forward momentum and action. The Eight of Wands does talk about big progress, big gains, and the direction that you're heading. So this could be really, really good, but it could also be a little volatile. It could be a little uncontrollable as well when we have this type of card. So we're really going to want to break that down further, you know, whether it is communication or whether it's just the energy of whatever you're going through. Now, when we get to the back end here, Pisces, since this is a Pisces reading, this could be a very, an extremely important cornerstone to this reading. We have the beautiful High Priestess, the matron of tarot readers, psychics, intuitives. Like I said, most readers do link her to the Pisces collective. I give her a little more of a broader spectrum. I do say this could be any water sign, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. When we look at her, aside from being connected to the subtle energies, emotional energies, psychic energies, when we see this High Priestess, she is in the place of balance. She could speak about knowledge. So some of you could be like trying to consume or learn new things. She is very esoteric and steeped in symbolism. You might be extra interested and piqued in any sort of spirituality when this High Priestess shows up. But a big thing with her is intuition, following your gut. Your gut might be telling you something. It might be leading you in a very specific way. You could just be extra sensitive to energies in this time. But since this is a Pisces reading, the clarifier could tell us something that could be coming towards you, especially next to an Eight of Wands, right? One final thing with this High Priestess, I know I've been talking about her nonstop. She can represent mystery, surprise, the unexpected, right? She is shrouded in mystery. So with all that being said, Pisces, let's keep it moving. I want to dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, Pisces. See what's going on. What do we got for Pisces, please? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Queen of Pentacles. And if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why this box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Pisces, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Queen of Pentacles time. Let's see what this is about. Where's this Queen of Pentacles here? Thank you. Okay, Lovers in reverse. Very interesting. Okay, you might be dealing with somebody or something that is like very difficult and stubborn to deal with. The Lovers in reverse, it could also represent, I mean, that is the sign of Gemini, which at the time of this filming we're in. So even though it's in reverse underneath this Queen of Pentacles, there might be certain things that aren't moving to your liking. They might feel a little bit stuck. It's like just very hard to deal with. It feels stuck in the muck. That's why I'm happy that we have this Eight of Wands next to it, because we could be seeing some big changes, leaps forward. But Lovers in reverse under this Queen of Pentacles, especially if you're connected to an earth sign, could speak about a little trouble with those that you're closest to. There might be one or multiple people that you share a very intense connection or bond with, where you're just not seeing eye to eye, or there can be troubles in your interpersonal relationships, so watch out. But I do feel like for some of you, if this isn't a person that's very stubborn and difficult to deal with, like there could be just various little upheavals in the interpersonal relationships around you. I don't feel like it's anything treacherous, but it's something not moving, and it's something like remaining the same, not progressing. So we're going to progress through this reading. For some of you, yeah, you might just have a huge money focus, since this is the card of Gemini season. So you might be embodying that Queen of Pentacles energy where you're all about your money and your pentacles. Let's keep moving. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I know I gave like 3 or 4 different messages there. Let's see what's up with that Eight of Wands. Interesting stuff, though. So why is this Eight of Wands here? Why is that Eight of Wands here, please? Thank you. Three of Swords in reverse. Yeah, combustible right here. All the air on the bottom is coming up in reverse. Please watch your mindset in this time. This can speak about healing. For some of you, I do feel like this is some sort of emotional talk or conversation that needs to be had or will be had, where someone just like vents something or gets something off their chest, something that could be bothering them, whether that's you or somebody else. When we get the Three of Swords, it is one of the most known cards in the whole entire tarot deck. I've seen it on posters, on shirts, on pants, everything. In reverse, it's good. It does speak about healing, getting better, improving. So we like this. And under a card of conversation, this does speak about improvement and action starting to pick up, which is really nice for you, Pisces. But I feel like for a lot of you, this is some sort of emotional talk or an important talk that needs to be had, where you just tell someone how you're feeling, and that'll turn these Three of Swords upside down. That's when things can start to progress. That's when things can start to heal, once you stop bottling it up inside. That's a big thing here. So we're going to move over to the High Priestess. We're not going to give this, we're not going to overcomplicate this. It is what it is. To me, it's either healing or that important or emotional conversation that should be had. What's going on the High Priestess? Pardon me. We'll see what's up with her, because like I said, she could be like surprising or unexpected as well. Why is that High Priestess here? Then we'll do our recap before we get into the shadows. Thank you. King of Wands, good. Gaining control of a situation. For some of you, you might be connected to a fire sign with the King of Wands here. This is a big shot caller type of energy. A lot of you really could be gaining control of yourself and a lot of the situations around you. If this kind of conversation or progression does start to happen, Pisces, I feel a lot of you really taking hold of your situations, whatever it is you might be going through, whether good, bad, or indifferent. You might be calling more of the shots than you think you are. Now, I know, since I'm part of the Pisces Collective, I know that people give us the reputation of being passive. That's not always the truth with Pisces. They could be very, like, I don't want to use the word controlling, but they can really take charge in situations when it calls for it. And that's a big thing I'm seeing right here on the back end. Either you're going to be called to get control of a situation, or you will just be naturally. When we see this, it's a shot caller type of energy, and I like it. So we have a little messed up things here in the front end, but when we get to the back end, this is very, very good. For a lot of you, I will just give this as well. For those of us that are very energetically sensitive, that could absolutely be heightened in this time, okay, for sure, because this is all about internal energy. When we get the King of Wands, like that internal energy, so you might need to release that energy in various different ways, okay, whether it is through expression, exercise. There might be a buildup of excess energy for you, Pisces. So let's go through and do a quick recap. I know, I'm sorry for sidetracking there. I was just feeling that. Let's get this recap before we get the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box here, we have a lot of different things happening. In position number one, we do have the Queen of Pentacles with the Lovers in reverse. So like I said, in the time of Gemini, you might be very focused on work. You might be stepping into this Queen of Pentacles type of energy, right? Very sturdy, very abundant, which could be good. But another vibe I was getting here, you might be dealing with a specific individual that's very stubborn, set in their ways, not willing to change. You could be having issues with various people around you as well, so watch out for that. But as we press forward through the reading, we have the Eight of Wands with the Three of Swords in reverse. This to me did feel like a venting session of sorts. Either this is like healing, getting better pretty quickly as well, or having that emotional or important type of conversation or talk that you just get something off your chest. Both of you trade those feelings and then walk out improved and better. On the back end, we have the High Priestess with the King of Wands in the upright, taking charge, right? Taking charge of situations, taking charge of your life, making sure your ducks are in a row, dotting I's, crossing the T's. And for another portion of you, I did say, especially if you're energetically sensitive, there's going to be an excess of energy in a lot of the Piscean collective. So make sure you're exerting that in some sort of way. Please take a screenshot. I'm going to get you a shadow card here now. Very interesting reading this week, Pisces. But let's get it going here. Let's shuffle it up and see what's in the shadows for you. My guides and spirit team, what's up with Pisces? And I always like to pull a shadow card right at the very end. I think it's a nice thing to do, just to get a little introspection, whether it's in yourself or whether it's a shadow situations you've dealt with in the past. It's always nice. Okay. Yeah, judgment. Making judgment calls, decisions. And like I saw in the main part here, you need to trust your judgment, especially if you are going to be taking control of various situations and stuff like that, calling shots. Now, in this shadow deck, the judgment card is called discretion, but it is judgment. It's Plutonian, it's change-based, it's karmic type of energy. But this does talk about our decision-making skills as well. Like, you might hold the power even if you don't believe you do in some sort of way. It's your choice. Now, maybe there's been times in the past where you've made the wrong choice. We all do from time to time. You can't be 100% all the time, right? But there is something very important about your decision-making skills in this time and linked to the shadows. Also, the way you adapt to change is big here as well. Do you adapt to it easily? Do you resist it? These are things we could think of with the shadow side of judgment. Okay, so yeah, Pisces, that's what I have for you this week. Interesting reading, but don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air readings. But for the month of June, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards in this week's reading, which one explains how you're feeling currently right now. Which one are you vibing with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.